For those out there, maybe the older generations that are concerned about our youth, our younger generations, and thinking maybe they're too lazy, too much into tech, got their heads in their cell phones, not down with what's going on, won't work hard. Well, maybe some of that's valid, some of that's validated and true. But the gentleman I have on today, this is part 2. He was kind enough to be my very first host. He's coming on for season 2. And he's coming fresh off another victory in the cage, doing an MMA fight. I bring you no other than Max Gamboa. Brother, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm freaking good, man. I'm stoked that you're willing to come back on. That's awesome, especially after, getting done with your fight. Was it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago now.
Okay, 3 weeks this Friday or?
3 weeks this Friday, yep.
Oh, okay. Amazing how fast things go.
I think the last time before I came on, it was before my second to last fight.
That's correct.
Yeah, so we were talking. So it's been fought the same guy twice.
Right. So, first time you came on was before you fought the organization Epic Fighting. I believe that's what you were with the last time, right? Same organization? Right. Okay, cool. Right. So we'll touch upon that. And for those listening again, Max Gamboa, young guy in his 20s, has his stuff together. He has his own company called the Health Forge, which he'll discuss more about. He's in the mortgage business involving real estate, and he's the martial artist, MMA fighter. But more importantly, Max has his head screwed on straight, and it's clear. Some people have their heads on straight but aren't clear. Max is dead focused and more importantly, a great human being. So it's my honor to have him back on. So let's get into this. Max, well, let's talk about your last fight. So if people want to figure you out, maybe they need to go all the way back to season 1, episode 1 and hear that one. But let's talk about, I believe you fought the same guy, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Fought the same guy. That wasn't the plan, though. The plan, I was supposed to fight a Tahitian fighter who was actually the 125 champ of the promotion. And the whole card was based around Tahiti versus USA. So they flew out I want to say 8 or 9 fighters from Tahiti. And we were supposed to be the main event. And 9 days out, I guess he blew up his knee or something that he wasn't able to fight anymore. And they offered me the same opponent that I had last time because I guess he had a fight for a belt at another promotion fall through. And I was like, heck yeah, man, I just trained 8 weeks. I'll fight anyone in there, people bought tickets. We got the hotel rooms. We're ready to go. Someone's stepping in the cage with me. So it was never a hesitation of whether or not I would take a fight, and especially against somebody else. I've never had a rematch before. So it was it was a new experience, which is always appreciated.
Very good. Appreciate the newness. That's cool. So bummer about the guy in Tahiti, but good for you, able to keep things on point, on track, and get a fight going. So since you fought this guy before, I'm not going to mention names unless you want to bring him up, but since you fought him before, for those listening, how was it as far as the promotion leading up to this fight again? What was different? Was it maybe more respect? I know you both had respect the first time, but since you've already fought together, was there trash talking? Was there fight, respect? What was the mindset going into this rematch due to a default?
Yeah. So, 9 days, you can only do so much promotion. But thankfully the company did a really good job. They put a lot of stuff together for us. And he was pretty upset with the last fight because he had thought that he had won the fight, with the decision. And it's always tough to say after a decision. I thought it was pretty clear that I had won, but, he thought it was pretty clear that he had won. So he was still a little upset about that. And he was trying to kind of go the trash talking, angry route. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, look, man, we're going to get in there. We're going to punch each other in the face. We don't need to be mean to each other online. That's not doing anything for either of us. And after that, he was kind of like, okay, fine. We're good. So after that, we were good. And, it was interesting trying to fit 8 weeks of fight camp into 9 days. Whole new strategy, a whole new set of problems to deal with. it was racking my mind the first few nights for sure. But then after that, we just kind of went into cruise control, and it was a very different situation knowing what my opponent presented and kind of having already felt his strength and his speed, knowing where I had advantages, knowing where I had disadvantages. Because when you're fighting somebody who you've never fought before, you can watch film, you can watch the way that they tend to attack, but until you're in there with them and you're feeling that speed, it's totally different, So this was a very cool experience, and I was a little bit worried because I was feeling too comfortable. I never felt so comfortable before a fight. Everything that week was going really well. The weight cut was super easy. I weighed in with sweats and a sweatshirt on.
Nice.
Not feeling too bad at all, So if a lot of people, make the weight cut the hardest part of the whole thing. So, when you can make that easy, it's definitely beneficial. But then the fight just kind of went exactly as planned. We wanted to keep the distance, counterpunch at range, pressure when we could, and just kind of all happened that way, and ended up getting out of there in the first 50 seconds. So, when you can take no damage and everything goes according to the game plan, if they all went like that, I'd probably be doing this a lot longer. But,
same with a lot of fighters. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned 50 seconds. How long was each round?
They were supposed to be 3 minutes.
Okay. Just for our listeners. Very good.
So the funny part was the last fight, the biggest disadvantage that I had was cardio. So this camp was all cardio, and I basically got to use none of it.
Really? Yeah, there you go.
It was only 50 seconds.
Yeah.
But we still built up that VO2 max a little bit, and definitely, we still keep those gains, but actually it wouldn't have been nice to use them. I'm glad I didn't have to. If I never have to use it again, it'd be great. But yeah.
So what did you do differently cardio-wise from the first time you fought this guy to when obviously you were planning a different opponent, but what were you doing differently, if you want to elaborate a little?
Yeah, it was mostly just volume. So before my last fight, before I got into that fight camp, I was training maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I had been dealing with some disc bulges in my thoracic spine from T2 all the way through T5. It was pretty jacked up in there, and it was really limiting a lot of the martial arts that I was able to do. When I was trying to get in awkward positions when I was doing jiu-jitsu, the slightest movement in one of those awkward positions would put me out for another week or two, So I was having a real tough time. But then before that last fight, I was feeling okay. I was feeling good enough. And so at that point, I was able to train like 4 or 5 times a week. But then after that whole camp, after building that strength, this camp I was training, between 9 and 12 times a week. So it was just upping the volume because I was doing the right things before. It was just how much of it I was able to do. And this time being able to do that many different sessions and things like that. And also adding in, Jeremy Pricer from our gym, outstanding, regenerative stretching, but also great in the strength and conditioning aspect. I started working with him 3 times a week. And so that was a huge, I haven't really lifted weights since I played college volleyball. So adding that dynamic into my training really improved my cardio, which was not something that I had expected. So, adding Jeremy to this camp was a huge, and he's normally in the camps, but it's normally for the stretching and for the regenerative stuff that he does. But adding him in for strength and conditioning was definitely a massive benefit.
Nice. So you go into this fight, you're feeling different, you're feeling good, you're ready to go 3 rounds, 3 minutes each round, if need be. You're the main card. Everybody is amped up, ready to go. They've already watched all the other fights prior. Do you have prelims, or it's just regular fights? Start going.
There were some prelims. Yeah, there were some prelims, and then there was the main card, and then we were the main event. So.
Okay, right. So people have been there a while, and they're ready to see this go off. So
yeah,
you guys enter, and again, I only saw the clips of it, so beg your pardon, my bad. I haven't seen the full long 50 seconds, but it looked like the ref interjected and called it, a day for him. He was out, tapped him out. Memory fades me. Did you? I probably should have watched it before we talked again, but it is what it is. So did you?
Yeah.
Did it look like he clipped him or caught him with a shot?
Yeah. He was rushing. He wanted to close the distance.
Right.
So I clipped him pretty early a few times. Nothing, that necessarily wobbled him or took him off balance, but stuff that made him realize he was in a fight,
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he was trying to close that distance because I felt that range really early. Once I find my range, I'm pretty tough to deal with on the feet. And so he realized that, and he wanted to close the distance as quickly as possible. And that kind of made him overstep. And I just kind of threw a check right hook. And it kind of,
I was going to say, it looked like a hook. He got him right on the button on the jaw. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing that will surprise people a lot of times, because I stand southpaw a lot. I switch pretty often between southpaw and orthodox. For those that don't know, right foot forward when you're boxing or left foot forward when you're boxing.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, right-handed people will stand with their left foot forward. So people think that their power hand generally is the backhand. But since I stand southpaw a lot with my right foot forward, even though my right hand's still my power hand, that check hook surprises people a lot.
Nice.
And those are the punches that get you, the ones that surprise you. If you see it coming, you can generally brace up or prepare for it, but it's the ones you don't see that
sneak in and
put you out.
Right. Well, that's awesome that you're ambidextrous. That's super smart. And as we say, your other strong hand, we don't use negative language, so that's good you're doing that. But that's a good job, Max. And I remember, years ago, just playing around on the mat, doing our Muay Thai sparring stuff, just easy stuff. But yeah, I remember you've got a unique style where it definitely catches your attention, and sometimes it looks like you're open and you're like, oh, I'm gonna intercept and jam this dude, and then you move. It's good. You got good lateral movement and nonlinear movement as well. So nice job. So you hit the guy. Ref's like, you're out. You're done. You look like you're going to sleep. And after that, was then there more mutual respect? Did you guys bro down afterwards? The guy realizes, yeah, you're it. You beat me twice now.
Yeah. They had him on the stool for a little bit. I tried to go up to him in the cage and, we shook hands, things like that. And then in the back afterwards, I ran over to him. He was sitting there with his family and his friends. And I was just like, hey, man, I just want to say, I'm so grateful to you because after our last fight, you pushed me so hard this fight. And he was like, hey, same to you, man. I know we both kind of took this fight on short notice, but you beat the best version of me in there. I was preparing for a title fight too, so I was more than prepared for this fight. And I don't want you to think that you beat somebody who wasn't training or wasn't ready to go. And that was really cool of him to say. I was really self-reflective, and so that was cool. We're good now. We follow each other on Instagram. Said congrats a couple times, and a little bit of back and forth here and there. So, it's all. It seems like the hatchet is buried, and we'll both just continue to move on and walk down this martial arts path.
Very cool. So people are asking, well, Mike, why were you asking those questions? Well, because I have experience in martial arts, and I always like to know about the mindset of the fighters. And I like to, UFC does a good job with this, but in other organizations, but I always am interested with the fighters after, post fight, and what's going on and what the vibe is and what's the mindset and how they're feeling. And is there any animosity towards each other afterwards? But that's really cool. And that guy, didn't say anything ill will and just gave you your props. That was solid.
Yeah.
Congrats.
It's always way better that way.
Absolutely. Well, you should always take the high road when you win, lose, or draw, because it just puts you in a better position for something coming up next. But everybody's different. There are some guys that just do their thing. So that's all right.
Yeah.
Good job, Max. All right. So that was done. You guys were the main fight, and you coming up on 3 weeks. How you feeling now? Feeling good?
Yeah, feeling great. I had you always have some nagging injuries going into a fight. No fight camp leaves anyone unscathed. So, I sprained my AC joint in my left shoulder 10 days before the fight. So I'm just starting to be able to sleep on my left side again. So there was that. And then, other than that though, I mean, obviously I didn't take too much damage in the fight, if any at all. He landed a couple good leg kicks, so my leg was a little sore for a couple of days afterwards. But, other than that, body's feeling great. They're talking about, the next fight being in Tahiti.
Wow.
So the Tahiti guys came here, and now they want us to come there. So they were talking about that in July or August, and I think I'll be waiting for that one.
Oh, wow. What an experience that would be, huh?
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Right. Yeah.
Excellent. Wow. The parents.
I know my
surfing
buddies would want to come out to that one too.
Oh yeah, I mean, dang, you're gonna have a full on posse wanting to go with you on that one.
Yeah,
that's awesome, Max.
Yeah.
Well, so let's segue into. So congrats again, great job, brother. Let's segue in. Let's touch upon your company, Health Forge, since we touched upon you being an athlete in the MMA scene and a martial artist. I think that's a good segue into Health Forge. Why don't you elaborate a little bit to our listeners what you're doing with a company called Health Forge, please?
Yeah. So with the Health Forge, we are kind of focusing on functional wellness for people. Kind of whole body. We do a segment called Mental Health Mondays, which tends to take a backseat during fight camps. So the first episode of that will be coming out on Monday. So looking forward to that. We're doing it with a great life coach who name's Alejandra, and she's really cool. And she's from Colombia, actually. So looking forward to that episode. But we do a lot of episodes like that. I try to bring on good people who know a lot about health and how it affects our mental state and how our mental state affects our health, So we bring on nutritionists and doctors and things like that. And then we do some supplementation as well with a company called Secret, where it's just all the cleanest supplements you can get, supplements for athletes, supplements for your everyday person, kind of covers like the major components of your health with sleep, with diet, and then with your recovery. So, we get a lot of stuff for, like people that I fight with. And we get a lot of stuff for, moms and dads and, grandpas and grandmas and things like that. So, it's a cool company. It's something that's just has always been kind of my passion. I've always wanted to help people. I just wasn't sure how. And, I feel like health and wellness is a field that I've studied in so much because of martial arts and for martial arts as well, that I just want to spread some goodness about that stuff too. So if I can bring on some other people who, know a lot more than me on certain things and can help spread their knowledge as well, then all the better.
Absolutely. Good fit for you. It just flows right in, right? So you're like the walking testimonial of that stuff.
Right.
So you can just go, hey, look, here I am. Here's my deal. And this is what I do. So, amen, brother. It's better than someone pushing supplements that, really doesn't have a sports background my God, if you're pushing supplements, I say in a good way. But if you're selling supplements, you have a company. Yeah, you definitely, I don't know. Everybody's different, but different lifestyles. But you definitely better be involved with a healthy lifestyle. So, very cool. So Health Forge, and then so people don't realize Max also is in the mortgage business, so with real estate. So we didn't touch upon that too much the first time. So I want to elaborate a little more on that and give you your time regarding the mortgage industry. So, I'm in real estate, and part of this podcast is having people on that are involved with real estate. You literally cover all three sectors. So whether it's real estate through the mortgage business, obviously security, MMA, martial arts, no brainer. And then outdoor lifestyle, which you're down with as well. So let's touch upon now with the mortgage and anything that you would like to tell people, listeners. There's people out there fretting about how the rates have gone up since the end of last year, a little bit incrementally up until now. I've heard we're going to have a little point reduction maybe midway through this year. Who knows? Time will tell. But why don't you talk, if you want to elaborate on that and how you're helping people?
Yeah. So I've been working with a company called eMortgage Capital for almost 2 years now. And I've been a mortgage loan officer for them for the first 2 years. And then the last year, I've been a DRE real estate agent with them as well. So, in the beginning, when rates were as low as they were, everyone was making fun of me because, I came in and rates were about 2.5, 2.75. And, now they're coming up to, low fours, things like that. And I'm like, dang, these rates are so high.
Oh, geez. Yeah,
everyone's laughing.
You came in at almost the historic low time. And compared to obviously, which I can remember in college in the 80s, rates were freaking as high as 21.5%. I mean, ridiculous. And a lot of 19s here and there. And then in the 90s, we had high rates and the S&Ls went out of business and all the aerospace was, anyways, rates are still real good compared to those decades. So, that's funny, Max.
And that's what I've come to realize, with some of the different clients that I've been doing now, because, when it was in the twos, my business was 99% refi.
Right.
Because it was easy. It was just, I've always been a numbers guy. I've always liked working with numbers and, I've always liked working with people. So, for some reason I thought that you would have thought that would have drawn me to the real estate business much sooner. But it took me, and even though my dad is also in it as well, and he's been trying to get me in it since I was, 19 years old. So, the fact that it took me this long bums me out a little bit, but always better late than never.
Wait a minute. Shut up, dude. You're in your young 20s. You know when I got into real estate? So, I got into it in my mid 40s, but I was a sales guy my whole life and a lot of life experience. I've purchased 4 homes, refied 3 times, walked the talk, still do. But I got in it way later in my career. I hear what you're saying because you go against people that have been in it so many years before you. There's a lot to be said with that, but no worries. But I didn't know your dad was in the real estate business.
Yeah, he's been in it. He's been doing loans and real estate stuff for a long time. I remember when I was maybe 14 or 15, I would go for spring break and make calls. This was back when loan mods were a thing. He owned a loan mod shop, and I would call people about their loan modifications and how they needed them. And they were like, "How old are you?" Because I have my high little voice.
Right.
And I was like, "Well, it's not really important. What's important is saving your home right now." But so he's been doing it for a long time. Yeah, at least probably 15 years, I'd say.
Okay. Way to go, Bobby Pitbull.
So he's been showing me the ropes. He got me in with the brokerage that we're at now, which I love. And I've just been thankful to have a lot of people at our company who have helped me out and steered me in the right direction. And it's been cool. I have I'm starting to get some repeat clients and things like that, which has been great because then you just see how you build these relationships with people. And I would feel the same way if I wanted to, for most people, their mortgage is their biggest investment that they'll ever make. And you would rather do that with somebody that you trust and that you're comfortable with. So, it's been cool to build those relationships. And, it has been different because, when the interest rates went up and it wasn't quite so easy, to get people in for refis and things like that. I was seeing a lot of people who have been in the business longer keeping their numbers up because they get so many repeat clients.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than being like, "Oh man, well, I wish I had repeat clients," it was like, "Oh, great. Well, as long as I keep doing this way, I'll continue to have, repeat clients as we continue to build this thing." So, it's been cool. I really enjoy the business and, I'm starting to move over a little bit into kind of like some retirement policies and financial guidance stuff, I guess you could say, with life insurance and things like that. So just kind of continuing to find some things in this business.
So you're keeping your avenues open.
Yeah. Well, my big thing is as long as I can work for myself, and that's kind of what these brokerages let me do, because it's all on my own time. It's all commission only. Then I'm going to be a happy person. I've always just struggled to kind of adapt to the 9-to-5 life, which I have no problem with. I understand why people like it, and I understand why it works for people. But for me, it just never has. So when I get to do this stuff and, run the Health Forge and fight and, work in the mortgage industry and things like that, it doesn't feel like going to work for me because I do like it, and I enjoy the process of it all. So, it's just, it's been a good business. I enjoy the business. I enjoy the people that come on your podcast and talk about it, because, all these people know I've been in it for way longer and they've been through the ups and the downs, and it's always cool to hear from them and just kind of see if you just keep on, you'll always have a spot in this business. So it's very cool.
Great attitude, Max. Very good mindset. And since we spoke the first time, you mentioned something that I didn't know. So you got more into the realtor side. That's what I heard correctly, right?
Yeah. Well, so I got my real estate license.
Okay.
So I got it kind of in preparation for the interest rates going up, because I knew I would have to start kind of moving my way in towards the purchase side of things, and the sales side of things. So, that's kind of been a process that also my dad has been helping me out with. He, there was kind of an issue at our company where, some people got their licenses suspended.
Oops, that's not good.
For, some continuing education stuff that, they didn't want to do. And so I've been helping out with a lot of them who, have the real estate license still, but now they need a loan guy, when that's before they were kind of doing them both themselves. So I've kind of been able to tag along and, learn a bit from a lot of these different guys on how they're going into the business, so that when I'm ready to, start showing homes and helping people buy homes, and I'll be ready to go and have some good experience in it.
Very good. And that's a good combo. You can speak knowledgeable about, is that the right thing I want to say? But you're very knowledgeable and can speak properly. I'm trying to think of a different word, but properly with your clients or prospects regarding looking to buy a home, or if it's the selling side, time to list your home. And then obviously you can speak to them very well about the interest rates, mortgage, all that kind of stuff. So that's good, Max. You're getting well rounded. Very good. So that's hey, in this crazy highly oversaturated market with not a lot of inventory, we're at historic lows with inventory, and uber competitive area that Orange County is, that you really got to step up your game and have options, right? And a lot of us have side hustles in addition to the real estate industry. But like I'm working to get my real estate license in Idaho, because we have property in northern Idaho, and I want to have that option where at least I can refer if someone comes to me, hey, Mike, like what you guys did in northern Idaho, love that area. Can you help me out? At least I can have the ability to refer them to some agent that I know up there. I've been working on the area for 6 years now, and at least get some sort of commission out of it. Right. So it's good to have those kind of options. Right on, dude. That's killer. So got a lot going on, Max. In addition to all that, anything going on with relationships, love life, anything like that?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really my thing. I
it can be smart, Max.
Yeah. Everyone kind of always laughs at me. But I do, it's just like you said, there's a lot going on. And, to be in a relationship is also, it's quite the commitment. And, worrying about somebody else's feelings and schedules and things like that. Once things settle down for me a little bit more, I might start looking into that.
Well, Bro, you're so young. I would expect you to say no, but you never know. I mean, gosh, when I was your age, no commitment. Heck no. No.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, there's still some things I like to do on the weekends and hang out and enjoy myself, so, I mean, hey, if the right girl comes along and sweeps me off my feet and somehow adds
and makes Dina happy.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to get through that first for sure.
Dina is Max's mom, everybody. Hello, Dina. So, yep, right on.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so, we'll kind of see where all that goes. But as of right now, I'm not really looking. But,
Yeah, hey, no worries.
Kind of where I've been for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I just thought I'd ask, what's going on. I mean, my youngest son he's only 17. He's got a hardcore relationship, but they're like such a throwback. It's really cute to see. She's an awesome gal, but yeah, they're rare to find. So
I did it when I was 18 to about 20 almost.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
And that's when I realized how much of a commitment it was and how much time it did take up. It was worth it, but now I'm just checking out some other things for right now.
Hey, they're all building blocks and all building up your life experience. So that's good.
Right.
So where you headed? So where are we at right now? Pretty much just doing everything you've mentioned. Any fights maybe before this potential Tahiti thing, or are you kind of focused on that?
Yeah, probably not. I do coach volleyball as well.
What don't you do, Max? Should we just go through what you don't do?
I coach the JV volleyball team at Newport Harbor.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and they're crushing it right now. We've had, I think, 15 or 16 games, and we haven't lost yet.
Wow.
We've actually got a game this afternoon. We only have 3 games left in the season, so if they could finish up undefeated, that would be awesome. And then, I coach club volleyball as well. So we've got that going on till about June. And I always like to take big breaks after fights anyways.
Mm-hmm.
At least 4 weeks where I'm not even in the gym. Like 4 weeks where I go and do some yoga, go play some volleyball, go play some golf, kind of stick to my strength and conditioning stuff. But as far as the punches and the kicks and the moving around and stuff like that, I like to give my mind and my body at least 3 to 4 weeks. So I won't even be thinking about, I've already got people coming to me and offering me fights in April and May and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, I'm not even thinking about any of this stuff till, maybe early May, I'll start considering putting something on the calendar. So that would mean July. Late July would be the earliest, but I think I'm going to hold out for this Tahiti thing.
That's a good goal to have, bro.
See how that goes. Yeah.
Nice.
Plus it'll just allow me to train without an opponent. Sometimes when you have an opponent and training can get just kind of so focused on one thing, one strategy, one way of fighting. And, I kind of like just training with no goals, really, just training to get better and to enjoy it and to learn. And, it's nice putting a goal. That's why I like to fight, is because I like having a goal at the end of something. But, as far as that, I think I'm just going to try to take it easy. Sun's shining now. I like fighting when it's cold and not so fun outside.
Yeah. Well, heck, I thought you were going to say, I'm also a lifeguard in Newport Beach, so I'll be lifeguarding. I was waiting for that one.
Here's what I can't do. I can barely swim.
Oh, that's funny. Well, my son will save you then in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. I've been on that boat a couple times.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah.
So you want to give a shout out to the guys that are helping you train besides Jeremy? You want to mention a few others?
Yeah. Obviously, my main gym and my main coach is Mike Tomaselli, who's been on your podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
Over at Tomaselli Academy, that guy is, I think I said this last time, but that guy is just the perfect fit for me as a head coach. He lets me be independent. He trusts me to take care of things on my own. But then whenever I need anything, he's always there when I need him. So, he just moves spots, which I think we also talked a little bit about last time. but it's much more renovated now. He's got Dave Jansen in there as well, running OC Muay Thai.
Unbelievable human being. My God.
Yeah, that guy's responsible for a lot of my current striking style.
Awesome.
Him and Chuck Eisenberg over at Classic Boxing, which also trains out of Tomaselli Academy. So, and then obviously we got Marco Huas on Friday nights, just to add a little fear into your life and realize why you do need security and why you do need maybe an armed weapon at some point.
Yeah, maybe you need a few equalizers, if you know what I mean, because
exactly
that's a walking grizzly bear right there.
I could train my whole life, and he would still be 250 pounds and a brick house, and I would be 150 doing my best. But
yeah, no,
I don't know if it would be enough.
It keeps you in check and lets you know there's always someone better, right?
He does.
But that's a phenomenal human being, and used to have Joe Moreira come in there, and Tomaselli's got a killer school, definitely, and he's talked about some future plans, which sounds pretty exciting. So, I don't know how much you know of that, but
maybe he's keeping under wraps a little bit.
I'll keep it at that. But I was over there recently having my son train with Mike, and Mike's an awesome guy, awesome, and Chuck's great, and Morgan with Chuck, and then of course Dave Jansen, total bro, and phenomenal. I mean, he's the Muay Thai. He's a legit Muay Thai master and phenomenal Muay Thai fighter. Oh my God. I've never been hit so hard before, or those kicks. Oh my, you see him wind up, or maybe you even miss him winding up, and he just bam, and it's like, oh my God.
Well, that's the thing.
You
miss the wind up normally.
Yeah, you don't even see it coming. It's so hard to track him, and then my God, he's like, what? I didn't even hit you. I'm like, shut up, Dave. We love you, Jansen.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, to have that collection of, in their arts, masters in every sense of the word.
Right.
With Joe and Dave,
Joe,
and
Marco,
and
Dave. That's phenomenal. Great.
And Chuck, Chuck is really coming into his, and even Morgan now. Morgan, this was the first camp that I had trained with him as more of a coach rather than a training partner, because he's been dealing with some injuries. He's going to be a fantastic. He already is a great coach, but he loves it, and he's going to be doing this for a long time. So, Tomaselli's definitely got some up and coming coaches as well as some legends in there. So it's just a great spot. It's a great spot.
Hey, I agree, brother. So, anything you want to part with as far as how people can get a hold of you?
You can reach out to me via Instagram. I'm on there as Red Velvet MMA. Is my
love
personal...
that handle. Love that handle. Red Velvet is awesome.
Red Velvet MMA. I get so many people telling me, like, don't you think you need to change your nickname to like something more manly, or like, dude, I'm already fighting. I don't need.
That's
to,
the whole point, bro. Right. That's the whole point. You're so confident who you are. I mean, you could be called the Pink Panther. No disrespect to the movies or anything, but people don't get that though.
Yeah.
People that don't.
I'm already fighting.
Train,
why do I need to pretend to be manly?
If someone's got to ask you that, they don't know what they're talking about.
And then the Health Forge, just as it said, the Health Forge on Instagram. So, those are kind of the two main places to reach me. We're coming out soon. I'm launching my own kind of entity under our brokerage called Velvet Financial.
Look at you.
Yeah. So we'll be posting that up pretty soon. And, we're getting the design team on the logo and everything right now. So that'll be coming out, and that'll be much more geared towards, obviously, mortgages, and then some of that life insurance stuff as well once we get that in there. So helping people out however we can, and, trying to have a good time while we're doing it.
Do you have your life insurance license?
I do.
Oh, dude, look at you. I was in that business for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, I did it. I did 1 year sales out of college. I took 9 months off. I lived in Vail and skied the mountain. And then I was going to be on ski patrol. I tried out past, and the I don't know, California called me back. But anyway, if it was nowadays, I'd be like, yeah, I'm done with California. But anyways, that was back then, young, like your age. And then I came back and I got licensed, and I was in the insurance investment business for 8 years. And I just burned out. And I mean, a lot of things I was working on, the government clamped down on, shut down those types of avenues for tax havens, and the disability industry I did really well at. It completely blew up due to adverse claims. And I was kind of like, yeah, I'm out of here. So, but no, it's a great business. So, I mean, if life insurance, if you can do well in that, the whole point is renewals and compounding, the compounding dollar, and you get these renewals and they compound over year after year after year. You're building up these annuities. It's just, so to speak, that's phenomenal. So, and you're helping people, obviously. So, but, no, good job, bro. Right on.
Well, I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks no worries, Max. Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for coming on. I learned a couple things I didn't know. I thought I knew. So good job, brother. Well, keep it up, Max. Good job. Keep me posted on what's going on. At least business wise, we need to network with the whole real estate world, loans, etc. And then definitely want to keep an eye on you with your fights.
Yeah, right on. Well, I really appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
See you, brother. Bye. It should.